How to make small talk, a brief guide to casual conversation. It's easier than it seems. Just don't take it too seriously. Why small talk matters. Small talk is a short and light conversation on general topics with people you don't know well, or at all. These conversations might seem useless, and often they are, but they can also be beneficial. Building connections. The process of turning an acquaintance into a friend, business partner, or other connection starts with getting to know them. To transition into a new relationship, you almost always have to begin with small talk, easing the atmosphere. Sometimes, people who find themselves in the same space together feel awkward. For example, imagine a birthday party where the host disappears, leaving guests who barely know each other staring at their phones or the corners of the room. In such situations, someone needs to break the silence so others can join in. Small talk is the best approach here, because if you jump straight into discussing Nietzsche, things might get even more uncomfortable. Boosting your recognition. Personal branding is usually discussed in a professional context, but it works in social settings too. You probably know someone who's widely recognized among your friends, even if not everyone has actually met them. Reputation can be good or bad, but if you make a good impression in small talk, so much so that your friends, colleagues, or clients spread the word about how pleasant you are, this will undoubtedly work in your favor. How to have a successful small talk, avoid sensitive topics. There are classic topics that aren't typically discussed in casual social settings. 1. Money. 2. Health. 3. Politics. In general, it's best to steer clear of any controversial subjects that could lead to immediate disagreements. Some topics are always sensitive, like religion, while others depend on the situation. For example, travel might be a safe topic in normal times, but if something controversial is happening in a certain country, it's better to avoid discussing it. Ask open-ended questions. It's best to frame questions in a way that prevents a simple yes or no answer. Not everyone is skilled at small talk, and your conversation partner might be one of those people. If they answer with just one word, you'll have to keep coming up with new questions without much to go on. More detailed responses make it easier to build on what they've said. For example, during a coffee break at a conference, instead of asking, "Do you like it here?" which might get a short yes or no, try asking, "What do you think about this conference?" This encourages the person to elaborate, giving you more material for follow-up questions. Give more than one-word answers. Small talk isn't an interview. Don't just ask questions. Share a bit about yourself too, so the conversation feels natural and balanced. Listen attentively. Small talk thrives on picking up small cues from the other person's words, so staying focused will make things easier for you. Plus, making a good impression is key, and people generally like being listened to, so you'll achieve two goals at once. For instance, if a new client declines your offer of a candy during a meeting, saying, "We already had cake today for a colleague's birthday," you could respond with, "Oh, that's great! How do you usually celebrate birthdays at your office?" Use what you already know. Sometimes, you already have some information about the person. For example, if you're at a party, the person you're talking to likely knows the host, so you could ask how they met. Using such details makes it easier to start a conversation without grasping for random topics. Don't argue. Small talk isn't the place for heated debates. Even if you think the book your conversation partner loves is terrible, there's no need to say so. The goal is to have a pleasant chat and part ways on a positive note, not to prove who's right. Be careful with jokes. Shared laughter brings people together, but it's important to keep humor appropriate. Dark or edgy jokes might be a hit with close friends, but could be risky with someone you just met. Avoid negativity. Even if you're discussing a neutral topic, you might have plenty of gloomy stories related to it. Save them for another time. Bringing down the mood can quickly ruin the conversation. In modern terms, that's a vibe killer. Give compliments. First, it's simply nice. Second, a compliment can serve as a natural segue into another topic. What to talk about in small talk? Here are some safe and easy topics to start with. The weather, because everyone experiences it. Food, since everyone eats, there's always something to say. If you're already drinking or eating something, you can comment on it and ask if they have any favorite places to eat. Just be mindful not to steer into sensitive territory. Small talk isn't the place for a heated debate between vegans and meat eaters. Hobbies, discussing interests can help find common ground. Music, books, movies, just remember, don't argue about tastes, share them. Sports, but keep it broad. because a rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona fans might be worse than a vegan versus meat-eater debate. Art. If there was a recent exhibition or play in your city, that's a great starting point. If the other person isn't into art, you can smoothly shift the conversation by asking, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Travel. Discussing places you've been and comparing experiences can be interesting. 8. Situational topics. Since you and your conversation partner are in the same place for a reason, that in itself can be a topic of discussion. Finding something to talk about isn't hard. Just relax and focus on having a pleasant, easygoing conversation.